Alec, welcome to August.
It was August last
Uh,
month. That is true.
it was my
Welcome.
birthday month.
It was your
Uh,
birthday month.
it's one of my favorite things about the month of August is that it was born.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
born.
that's one of my favorite things about September. So,
hmm
but we're not here to talk about September. We're here to talk about the things that we did or watched or experienced or whatever in August that we didn't really have a chance to talk about.
Yeah, it's a
And
series we
here's
do
our
every
platform.
month. Every
It
month we do
is.
this. We each bring three things to the table, our favorite things.
Yeah.
It could be pretty much anything, and we talk about it.
Could be.
So, what did you bring for class today?
Um. Let's get started right out of the gate with a doozy. I've been watching Geno Samuel's Chris Chan documentary.
Oh,
I don't know if you know anything about Chris Chan.
not really.
Chris Chan recently was arrested for boy, this is a content warning already. Let's just say doing not good things with his elderly mother.
Oh,
Yeah. Um,
okay. I feel like I vaguely heard of this.
yeah. So Chris Chan was kind of like possibly one of the most documented people on in history. We know so much about their life just in general, just because of just it's hard to even like delve into. So lots of trolling. Kristen Weston Chandler is on the autism spectrum, probably somewhere. I don't know if that was ever. I don't know if that's ever been officially. I think there's documents saying that he was, but his elderly parents didn't really ever seem to do anything to assist or help with that. Um, I think the best way to sort of describe the whole scenario is that there are no heroes or there's no good people involved anywhere in the story,
Hmm. Hmm.
except for maybe
I love that.
his dad, um, who he himself was already not really a great person, but there's there's so much. Yeah, it's like it's hard to really talk about, but it because of it's sort of the dawn of internet culture was sort of when or a dawn of like not of internet culture. I mean Chris Chan is just sort of this fascinating sort of like it I think I was first introduced to Chris Chan's stuff when I was in college, and I don't know if it was someone made mention of it or what, but I went on like a rabbit hole for like 4 hours looking into all the information. So Chris developed a this sort of a character called Sonichu,
hmm
which is a combination of Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu, and all of the ancillary characters in a web comic, um, which was subject to a lot of uh, like I don't even know like I can't even remember when like the online trolling started, but a lot of trolling involved. A lot of people pretending to be fans of the comic. Um, a lot of horrible things that Christian did to people and the people around him in his real life and on the internet. Um, so there's no so despite the fact that a lot of people did some terrible things to him, uh, also he did a lot of terrible things or acted very inappropriately to people as well. There's a lot of lack of oversight, probably because of how old his parents were. Um, I, Even when he was young and growing up, and there's just a lot of lack of oversight. They had their own problems. The state of their house that you saw in a lot of footage that Christian showed on his YouTube channel, and so on and so forth, showed a very distinct hoarding situation going on at the house. Um, so yeah, there's a lot. There's just a lot. Um, so definitely not something for the faint of heart. Definitely not something for people who are. I mean, I had to take a break from watching it just for a bit, just because like it gets to a point where sometimes there's just stuff in it. You're like, okay, I'm good for now. So it's something I'm gonna keep making my way towards and through. Um,
It's a
but it's
series.
yes, there's like 60 something parts currently on
60.
YouTube. 60 something. Yeah, I can't remember exactly how many. I think it's like 65 or 66. I think. Geno Samuel decided to take a break after the whole incest thing happened, um, because I mean, wow, that sure does. Because I think currently he's in the year 2017 in terms of the documentation. Um, but like there are whole like we know so much. Like I said, we know so much about this person's life
Hmm.
because of documentation that he himself put online. Um, so there's a lot. There's a lot. There's just a lot. But it's fascinating. I mean, Christian also came out as trans eventually along the way, so it's maybe more fair to characterize her as a she. But given given that a lot of it seems seemingly a cry more for attention, and given what he did to his mother, I don't think that's a good representation of trans people in general. So
Hmm.
I do not wish to call Christian Weston Chandler anything other than a he because of the reprehensible actions of which were undertaken. I mean that in of itself is like a whole sub story of like why did why did that happen? What like who were the people kind of egging him on behind the scenes? And I looked into that like within the first few days of all this happening. I haven't looked into seeing if there's been any other arrests or anything like that. But
Hmm.
yeah,
That's fascinating.
it's
I
very
love
fascinating. It's dark
I
information, but
love
it's
yeah, weird figures like that. Get into the
mm,
history of them.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll have to check that out. But 60 some parts. How? Tell me how long are these?
Anywhere from like a half hour to 45, 50 minutes.
That's crazy.
I mean, this is what I mean. They are probably the most documented person ever, just because of how much we know about their like specifics of their childhood. There's also like a weird amount of very fortunate circumstances in his early life where he won a contest early on, for the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon where he got like $1,000 spending spree,
Hmm.
and there's like documented footage of that of like the local news that covered that. There was that. There was multiple times in Nintendo Power where he wrote in and was featured.
Hmm.
Kind of wild. That was like a lot of. He was also involved in some Parappa the Rapper contest at one time too. So yeah, I don't
Huh.
know. Anyway,
Wow. Well, I was just gonna say I watched Rick and Morty season 5.
I guess we're talking about incest, right?
I mean,
I
good every
haven't
now and then. Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but I did hear stuff about the current season.
Yeah. I mean, Morty and Summer made a giant incest baby they sent out to space.
Yep.
So there's that. Yeah. I mean, It's been a pretty good season. I think. Season it's much better than season 4. I feel like season 4 is probably the weakest season,
Really,
but
I've heard the opposite for a lot of people. I've heard people say this is the worst one, but I have no experience, so
I also haven't
I'm
seen the
nothing.
finale. They just released the finale. It was like a two episode thing.
Okay.
But there was like notable ones in season 4 I wasn't a huge fan of.
Hmm.
But this one I found myself enjoying more. There's some that are like okay,
Hmm.
but I don't think anything will ever match like the first 3 seasons or like around season 3, especially. Rick and Morty was really good. But it's like a certain kind of humor that if you're in the mood for it, then it's always gonna be good. At least
Yeah.
it's nothing. It's not bad. There's just some are not nearly as effective as others, especially conceptually,
Hmm.
because they're always known for really clever writing and really like utilizing the characters really well. But
Hmm.
so like some concepts are just like hit it out of the park, so it's hard to live up to them.
Yeah.
And then they do these funny little, like, some every now and then there's just like a spoof episode, just like, okay, that's, I guess that works. But I mean, I'm enjoying it. I just need to watch the finale now, see how that went.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I've also been watching Doug,
Why?
Nickelodeon's Doug. What do you mean, why? Why?
Why?
What do you mean, why? What's that supposed to mean?
You're watching Doug in 2021?
I am watching Doug in
Okay.
2021. Well, I got really nostalgic for it. It was hanging out with my brothers. We get talking about growing up watching it, and because my brothers came for a visit, which was really fun, and we got talking about Doug and get kind of nostalgic for it. So I've been popping it on and going through the whole series. I actually what I really want to do eventually. I'm only in the third season of the Nickelodeon one, but what I want to actually do is once it then transitions to the Disney's Doug, I want to watch through the whole Disney series as well, because I don't think I saw every episode of that series. I think I saw a lot of them, but I didn't see all of them. I did remember, even as a little kid, not liking it as much as the Nickelodeon version. But I still kind of want to just go through it, see if it still kind of holds up as well as older Doug does, which I think it does personally. I think that despite the fact that it's kind of one of those shows where it only sort of could have been made in the 90s, I think a lot of the messages and sort of morals and things like that are all still pretty applicable today. And they're things that I really like. I like the sort of emotional intelligence in terms of your cartoons, your storytelling, a la Arthur. But I think this doing it maybe in, it's not for little kids. It's doing it more for like a early adolescent kind of a person. And yeah, it's been great. It's just been a fun, nostalgic sort of comfort food. Just throw it up while I'm doing other things or when I'm headed to bed. So it's just been really good. I think that's going to be probably my comfort food binge series, where I'll just go through that whole series for forever. Kind of have it on rotation. So
fair enough. I haven't had time to watch anything lately. Rick and Morty is the one thing I fit in every now and then. Other than that, like all these, and Big Brother.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like these series. A new season of The Circle just dropped today, so watched the first episode of that. But yeah, other than that, it's like there's so many things I need to catch up on, and like I was talking about before, I'm behind on. I still have to finish FMAB and Attack on Titan, yeah, but I'm always listening to a lot of music. So for me, Little Mix, familiar with the group Little Mix?
No.
It was.
I think I said, did you feature them on a channel, video on your channel recently?
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't watch that, but I did see the title for that. I was like, I've never heard of that group before.
Yeah, it's like a girl group. I think they were originally formed, or they originally auditioned in X Factor way back when, but I was never a fan of them up until like a few years ago when I was introduced to them through my channel. But I only watched a couple things until like this past year, where I just started listening to. I got a bunch of their albums, started listening to them. But the one I've been listening to the most is called Get Weird. It's definitely my favorite album. I don't know what it is about it. It's just like resonated so much more than the other ones. Like a lot of their songs are like every now and then they'll have some stupid ones in there.
Yeah.
But there's some really good songs, like Secret Love Song is in here. Love Me or Leave Me. There's some really good ones. There's just like almost all the songs in the album work for me, and I'm in like a weird mood where I'll have it'll be like the perfect album to jam out to, but it's also like got some perfect sad songs too. So if you're feeling sad, I'll just play this. When I'm feeling sad, I'm just when it's just like I always debate whether that's a good idea or not, whether to just sit and put sad music on. I don't know if that's beneficial or not, but this has been my album of choice for that recently. Even
I feel like sometimes that can help. It can help you process your emotions, a little bit. I definitely do that sometimes. I think there's a fine line between doing that and like wallowing. But sometimes just like
definitely wallow.
Yeah.
Definitely a hardcore wallow session.
Definitely. Oh, that's rough.
Just sit there and be unproductive for like and just listening to music. But then it's the same album that I'll have fun jamming out to when I'm driving too. So it's weird. It's got like a good mix of songs in there. But some really good ones. I want to talk about more of it in more detail on my channel, but for now I just put a video called Little Mix's Best Album. And I was like, I couldn't remember if I gotten all the albums or not. I had like 4 of them now. But then people started commenting that, oh, LM5 is my favorite. So I realized that was like one if not the only one I don't have yet. So I bought that, so that should be coming in soon. Let's see if that one's better. But yeah, there's some of the albums really don't work for me. There was one in particular where I like didn't like any of the songs, and then I would go to this one. I love all the songs, so it was a little
wow.
It's wild.
That's interesting. That's quite a polarizing sort of.
They're mostly good though. Mostly good. I liked their most recent album, Confetti, was good. And I mean, they had 4 members of the group. Now they're down to 3. So I'm interested to see what they'll do, like with their music moving forward. It's a big part. Now you can't lose any more members. Like especially you write it out with 3 members. You can't go down to 2. But yeah, so that's fun.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I've also been watching Rising of the Shield Hero, which is an anime that came out in 2019. I watched it probably last year, maybe a couple years ago. I don't remember exactly when I watched it, but now that we're caught up, we're not totally caught up to Attack on Titan, but we're sort of taking a break. We want to wait till the second half of the final season is out, just coming out at the beginning of next year. So we kind of wanted to wait till that's sort of done to maybe finish the rest of it, because you don't want to be left at a cliffhanger in season 4. So we're taking a break on that, and so with just one of my housemates, we're watching through Shield Hero, and that's been a lot of fun. Kind of rekindling my love and enjoyment for that show. I really like it a lot. It's an isekai, so it's one of those ones that's like, all right, there's so many of those these days, right? But this is the one that I really enjoy. I'm not the biggest isekai fan, but I like this one, and I think it's fun and really good. And you can see one of the characters that I really, really like in this show on the figure guessing game thing. So you can see, yeah. That's kind of why I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to have that as the multiple choice one.
Yeah. So. Okay, so my last thing is, are you familiar with a party game called Telestrations?
But no, I don't think so.
It's like the game, Whisper Down the Lane used to play in school.
I guess.
Or Telephone.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Telephone.
It's like that, but with drawing, basically. It's like a mixture of that, drawing, Pictionary. So you each person has their own little sketch pad, and you get a random word that you get. And so you write the word on the front page, and you flip it over, and you draw it. And then you hand that drawing to the next person, and then they have to just look at the drawing and then write what their guess is based on that. And then you hand the guess to the next person, and they draw that, and it continues until you have the last person.
That's like Gardic Telephone, isn't that? Gardic. Isn't that the? Yeah, isn't that? That's I think that's the online version of that. That sounds exactly like Gardic Telephone, which is really kind of a huge thing with among VTubers and other streamers and stuff right now. I saw Ross was playing it. I think it's called Gardic. Yeah, it's a weird name. I don't know why it's called that, but it sounds exactly like what you're describing.
But it's fun because
I played it recently.
I guess there is supposed to be scoring to it, but you don't really play it that way. You just kind of it's to see the funny stuff that ensues from it.
Yeah.
We did regular words, and we also played Telestrations After Dark. Because I got the whole party pack that supports 12 plus people. Because we started doing these group movie nights and game nights with a bunch of people from work. So we have a bunch of people. So it was perfect for that. But I also got Telestrations After Dark, which has adult themes and stuff in it.
Oh.
Yeah. So that
So,
gets
do you
outrageous.
start with it? So, with this one, do you start with a prompt on a card? Is that sort of how it starts?
Yeah, you have like a list on a card, and then you roll a dice or something to decide what number on the card you draw, basically.
So, Gardic Phone, I think is you can. I think there's a bunch of different variations on it. I think I've only played the one where you actually write the prompt. Like it starts with people writing the prompt, and then it gets randomized and cycled in, and
Yeah.
then it sort of, and then from there, everyone writes a, everyone draws the what they get as a prompt, and then it shuffles again, and then they have to describe what they see, and then it shuffles. So there, it like
But
it
it makes
continues to
sure,
shuffle around.
but it makes sure that you never get yours, right?
I think
Or
you can get. I think you can still get yours back as something.
because then you would
I feel
know,
like there is
right?
a
Like if
way.
you saw what your prompt was, then
I
you
think
probably
I
would
think
know.
I think sometimes it can shuffle back, but I think that's only if there's not like a lot of players. But I don't
Hmm.
remember. It's something kind of weird like that where it.
Yeah, imagine you
But I
need a lot
think
of players for that to work. Cause
yeah, I played with 6 people. It was like me and 5 other people, and it worked pretty well.
hmm.
It's fun. It's yeah. There's not really a whole point to scoring. It's just kind of fun, pretty
Yeah,
much. It's just to kind of have a good time.
it's a
But
good one. It was a hit. People like it. I think I'm really into like the party games stuff, but
mm,
I just haven't had much of an opportunity to play it. Like I've had this waiting around for a while to play. Just haven't had the group to play with. So
mm,
now it's been fun. It's
that's
a
that
fun,
does sound like a lot of fun. That's cool.
especially when we had like actually almost like 10 people one time. So it
Wow,
was just like a ton of rounds just go through, and then you just take turns flipping through, seeing what it becomes. When you
wow.
see the start, and then how it ends up into something completely different. It's great.
That's cool.
And
Yeah,
they love the After
it's funny.
Dark. They love the After Dark version, of course.
Like the being inappropriate. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely thundering around me.
I believe you. I believe you.
Okay.
But it's a fun game. Fun
Yeah.
game. Always good. You gotta have the right company for it, right? Like I did play. That's true. I did play it once with my family. It's like the regular version,
Hmm.
and that was fun. But we didn't have as big a group, so I feel like the bigger the group, the better it'll be, because you can really see it go off the rails.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that's with some of those games you do have to sort of have the right people.
it'd be interesting to try out the online that game. That'd be
Mm.
cool.
Yeah. We get some people in get people over in the Otaku Brothers community. We could get together and do like silly online games. We could do like Drawful. We could do Gardic Phone. We could do
Yeah, that's like the next thing I want to try to
yeah
get my group to play is like the you don't know or Jackbox Party Pack
Jackbox.
stuff.
Jackbox is awesome. Yeah,
They're perfect. And I haven't
yeah.
even played like the most recent one. Like it's like I've only really played it with my family for the most part. But then
Mm,
there's like so many packs now. Even we fell behind, and there was a whole other
tons.
one we haven't even played.
There's a bunch.
There's so much to go through there. I gotta go and buy them all though now. My brother has most of them on his systems.
Hmm.
So is that it? August?
Yeah, that's it. That's it for August. So there you go.
Pretty good
Cool.
month.
This is a good month.
I turned 25 years old in that
Wow.
month.
Wow. Big 2-5.
Hmm.
Quarter of a century.
But it also spells the end of summer is imminent. So, for better or for worse, you fan of
Hmm.
summer?
Just summer in general.
Yeah, you a
I
summer
like
fan?
I like late summer. I like late. This time of year is like my favorite time actually. Now,
Oh,
didn't used to be growing up,
back to school time. Yeah,
but like this, it's like but now it's like my favorite time of year. It's because the weather's just absolutely perfect.
yeah. I
I
love.
say I say as it's pouring outside right now with
The weather
thunder.
is perfect. It's just like everything crumbles around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a good weather. You know, you just
Yeah. A good
one
weather
that you can
is
just
nice.
like sit outside and not just like feel sticky about it. You know, just kind of vibe outside. You
Yeah,
know,
vibing outside or working outside, which I have to do. So
right? Absolutely.
yeah,
Well, that's it. What video would you recommend our viewers
that's it.
watch next?
Go check out our top 10 animated shows that define us.
Mm.
I don't remember if I put Doug in there, to be honest. I should have if I didn't.
I
I
think
think I
you did.
did. I think I did.
I think you did.
But go hear me gush more about Doug. I love Doug. So
Doug's a good guy.
yeah, he's a good guy.
So that's it. Thank you
Yeah.
for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. Like the video. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And like us on Facebook. Tarqaron, TWO.